And it's going to be Edozie and Williams to jump here at the opening tip. Sold out crowd here in Bristol. And the ball comes off the foot, ends up with Gentry Thomas. And the Flyers will get the first offense of this game. Here's Champion. Ball screen comes from Edozie. Now Gentry Thomas thought about the three. Edozie down low, gets it to go off the glass. And Daniel Edozie had quite a quiet game last night against London City Royals, gets the first 2 points of the game.
There's going to be a lot of attention on Gentry Thomas, so players like Dan have got to have their hands ready to go score if they're doubling or trapping him on pick and rolls.
Well, Lewis Champion almost knocked that ball away from Edwards, who goes baseline, kicks it out to Kofi Josephs, baseline three. And ball bobbles around the rim, and Amir Williams chasing down the rebound. Good hustle from Thomas Edwards, who tips it to Champion. Fred Thomas backing down low, fadeaway jump shot from the baseline, tough shot from Fred Thomas, who gets it to go for two.
Yeah, he's not a player that needs an offense to get a bucket. He's someone that can create a bucket for himself.
Well, second-year pro from the Kongsberg Miners, Fred Thomas. He's been a fan favourite here at the SGS College Arena. Here is Hughes, now May Thompson, guarded by Thomas Edwards, drives inside and is stolen by Thomas. Thomas pulls up for three. Heat check for Fred Thomas, who's feeling it from downtown. Quick 5 points for him. 7-0 run for the Bristol Flyers.
And this is what we talked about, back-to-back games, feeling good from yesterday's win. Great start for the Flyers.
May Thompson down low to Williams, finds himself in traffic, kicks it out to Cortez Edwards, who drives inside, and the foul is going to be called on the floor.
All of Matt Newby's teams have got a lot of three-point shooting threats around, so if they do go and double inside with Williams, expect a lot of 3 points to go up this game.
Well, they've had 8 wins so far this season, and that's not many behind the total number of wins they had the whole of last season, the Worcester Wolves. As the rebound's chased down by Thomas Edwards, who puts it up, can't finish their layup, and there's Fred Thomas who crashes the glass and able to draw the contact and get a trip to the foul line.
Yeah, he looks ready to play today. Got off to a good start, playing with confidence, great energy then on the boards, going to the line for two.
And you talk about Rafael Thomas Edwards. He was a player who played in NBL Division 1, kind of like yourself, Roy. You had that journey through the leagues, and he's really stepped up, Rafael Thomas Edwards. Of course, he led the league in rebounds last season. Yeah,
it really goes to show players like Champion, like Thomas, like people like Kofi Josephs that played in lower leagues in England, show that once you get the opportunity to come on the big stage here, that they can really perform too. They've been coached by really good coaches, been in good systems, and then to show it now on the BBL in the top level for the UK is really good to see.
Fred Thomas goes 2 for 2 and extends this run here for the Flyers. They're on a 9-0 run now to open this game. Here is Josephs, closely guarded by Thomas. Now Cortez Edwards drives inside to the basket, lays it up and in. And Cortez Edwards, who had that fantastic game the last time these two teams met at the SGS College Arena. Gentry Thomas floats it up, too short on that one. Rebound gathered in by, grabbed by the Flyers, and Thomas again for three. Too much on that one. And Williams had the rebound, is not loose there by Gentry Thomas.
It's a good look there. He's hot so far, so why not put that shot up and see what happens?
Flyers have done a great job of bothering the big men so far in these opening few minutes.
Yeah, Flyers not really prepared, know their offenses. Just ice in the pick and roll, forcing them down the sideline, baseline. Almost throughout their rhythm a little bit.
There is Joseph, top of the three-point line, and another foul called on the floor, this time against Gentry Thomas.
Yeah, they were so scared of his three-pointer there, they just slightly overplayed him. Waited to draw contact by Joseph.
First personal foul there on Gentry Thomas. And it will be Hughes to get it back underway here from the side. Edwards guarded by Champion. Now Joseph's at the three-point line, feeds Williams down low. Going to work on Edozie. May Thompson pulls up for three and a foul. Count it and a foul. And May Thompson has a chance to convert a 4-point play here for the Worcester Wolves.
Seemed Flyers were really concerned about Williams inside. Instead of sending 2 players, almost 3 players then dug in, found the shooter on the weak side, way to knock it down and get the foul.
And Raheem May Thompson, of course, many of you remember him most from his time with Leicester Riders, had that short spell with the Cheshire Phoenix and now signed here with the Worcester Wolves for the 1920 season, able to convert that 4-point play. And just like that, Flyers opened the game on a 9-0 run, and Worcester 6-0 run for them in response.
And Worcester, a dangerous team full of 3-point shooters, not hard for them to erase a lead. Flyers got to stay switched on.
As you say, consistency certainly is the key for Coach Kapoulis' team. Balls into Champion here, top of the 3-point line, drives in, is blocked by Edwards, who goes all the way to the races, blows by Thomas Edwards, but a 2-handed slam. And now the lead is down to 1.
Turnover, last possession, then nearly another one there. Flyers have got to look after the ball, run their offenses, try and get some good looks up.
So quick is Cortez Edwards, beat everyone down the floor on that last possession. Thomas Edwards for 3. Another offensive rebound gathered in by Fred Thomas, and again does well to draw the contact, and it will send him back to the foul line.
Yeah, great leadership by Thomas so far. He looks like the only player on the Flyers ready to go right now. Going in for the boards, getting open looks. Just need a couple of the players to contribute as well now.
Well, Fred Thomas at the free throw line, just 6 points and 7 rebounds when these two teams last met at the University Arena. And nearly has that much already. Well, he's already beaten his tally from last week. 7 points so far for Fred Thomas. And too much on the second, and the rebounds corralled by Kofi Josephs. Here's Bouchner into the game. Ball screen from May Thompson. Ball down low to Williams, closely guarded by Edozie, and a travelling violation there as Williams picked up the pivot foot.
That time didn't send any players down there. Williams ended up travelling.
Certainly demanded a lot of attention from the Flyers defence so far in this one. Midway through the first quarter, Thomas bailed out of the mid-range 2. Looking for a backdoor pass there, and Gentry Thomas couldn't quite see it, but he will pull up for 2. And an offensive rebound gathered in by Thomas Edwards, backing his way down low, puts it up and puts it in. Rafael Thomas Edwards inside for 2.
He's someone who's going to work 100%. He's going to the boards every single time. If someone doesn't put a body on him, he's going to do that.
Well, that's certainly what Flyers have become known for this season, is crashing the offensive glass. And with that kind of 3-headed machine of Delpesh, Edozie and Thomas Edwards, you can certainly see why.
Yeah, they're all athletic bigs, all strong, all know the Flyers system, so you can sub one out and then put another person in. You're not really losing much size on the boards.
12 points to 8 is the score as we approach the midway point now of the opening quarter. Champion hands off with Gentry Thomas, closely guarded by Bouchner, and Edozie off on the mid-range 2. Fred Thomas chases down the rebound and throws it down with a 2-handed slam. Bristol Flyers feeling it in this opening quarter. Of course, last night they finished the game against London City Royals with 6 straight dunks. And Fred Thomas, no time wasted. Another dunk for him. There's Kofi Josephs to the rim, can't finish. Gentry Thomas the other way in transition, and the foul is called on Martin Bouchner.
Yeah, good start by the Flyers. I mean, Thomas has been carrying them the whole way. Flyers have got plenty of other scorers that can come on. If they start to get hot as well, it's going to be a good game for them. They've got to stay away on the other side. Worcester got lots of shooters. They can easily erase this lead if the Flyers aren't concentrated.
Well, it's been back and forth so far in this opening quarter. Flyers right now on a 5-0 run. They opened on a 9-0 run, and Worcester responded to that with an 8-0 run of their own. Well, the referee is just stopping play here because there's an issue with the shot clock. So we're just going to go speak to the table to get that sorted. And they're going to let this one tick down to 20 seconds. Mark Hughes into the game for Kofi Josephs as he takes a breather. And Champions getting set now to inbound here from the sideline. Fred Thomas hands off with Gentry Thomas. Edozie top of the three-point line, pulls up from the elbow, and Daniel Edozie gets it to go from the elbow and gives Flyers an 8-point lead.
That's a shot he's added over the years. He could always shoot it, but never was quite confident to take it in games. This game he shot 2 already and made 1 of them.
Hughes goes inside. Offensive rebound crashed by Williams, who can't finish on the baby hook. And foul is called on Daniel Edozie, and I think he was looking at the referee asking for an offensive foul there with the elbow, but it will be a foul on Daniel Edozie to send Amir Williams to the line.
I'm sure what the foul was there. It looked like Edozie was straight up and he threw the elbow, but way to be aggressive on the balls for Williams.
Well, Amir Williams signed for the Worcester Wolves at the start of the regular season, filled that last import slot that was missing on their squad. He's had a very decorated career so far, professional career. Graduated from Ohio State University, had a spell in the NBA G League with the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, and also represented the Grizzlies in the NBA Summer League as well.
I think that's the advantage of having the cup first. That teams can look at their squad, see what they need, bring an import in late, and obviously he's had a massive impact so far. But that's the advantage of having the cup. They see the need a bit. Let's see where he takes them.
Of course, they are missing Jordan Williams tonight as well, the Worcester Wolves, who certainly been an impact on the offensive end inside. So they are short-handed down low, the Wolves, but trailing early on, and Taylor gets able to draw the foul, and that's going to be the Wolves' 4th team foul.
Taylor's one of those X-factor guys. When he comes in and plays really well, the Flyers play really well, brings a lot of energy. Another guy that will crash the boards, can make the open shot if you don't guard him.
Well, he certainly brought the energy last night in that game against London City. Very active on the defensive end as Gentry Thomas able to draw the foul. And now with Worcester Wolves in the penalty for these last 3.5 minutes of the opening quarter, that will send Gentry Thomas to the line.
Yeah, Gentry Thomas is one of those players who can get hot really quickly, looking to get to the line now to get a bit of his rhythm. But if Worcester aren't paying attention here, he could put buckets up real quick.
Well, Gentry Thomas also played on the same team out in Canada last season as former Flyers player Doug Herring, out for the Moncton Magic. Spent the first half of the season together before Herring moved on to another club, and Gentry Thomas ended up staying with them all the way to the BBL Championship last season, as he looks to bring that championship mentality to the Bristol Flyers. Here's Josephs, closely guarded by Taylor. Bouchnet now. Shot clock down to 8 seconds. Ball screen comes from Williams. Bouchnet turns the corner. There's Cortez Edwards, who drives left, pulls up from mid-range and gets nothing but net on the baseline 2. There's Delpesh leaking out in transition and not able to control that pass. And it will be a turnover for the Bristol Flyers.
Yeah, the Flyers are sending a lot of the ball screens down there. The baseline sideline, the ice in the ball screen. That was a much rare read there by Worcester to get a clean look on the baseline to get an open shot.
Wolves down by 6 points here. The final 3 minutes of this opening quarter. Williams does well there to draw the foul on Marcus Delpesh, and certainly will be a big battle down there between Delpesh and Williams tonight, as Levi Bradley looks to check into the game for the first time this evening, and it will be Rafael Thomas Edwards who makes way.
Yeah, that's the second time Williams has led with his elbow, managed to draw a foul call. If that's how the referees are calling it, he needs to be aggressive all game. He's going to live at the free throw line.
Williams able to knock down the first, and with 3 minutes to go here, now has a chance to bring the Worcester Wolves to within 4. Second free throw, no good. And here's Fred Thomas now for the Flyers. Running floater for him, front iron. Another rebound falls to Williams. Here's Cortez Edwards, who finds the Wolves for deep two, gets it to go, and now Worcester Wolves, they're within two.
May Thompson, versatile player. He's someone that can post up, shoot the mid-range, also make the three if you don't pay attention to him. He can really do it all.
Here's Gentry Thomas the other way, pulls up from the elbow, and Levi Bradley crashes the offensive glass and gets it to go inside.
Flyers again on the boards, doing a good job so far, crashing that boards. Worcester got boxed out a little bit better.
It's their sixth offensive rebound so far in this first quarter for Bristol. They lead by 4. Or Edwards the other way, too short on the mid-range too. And Taylor's on the deck, Bouchnet on the deck, and Kofi Josephs will pull up from 3 and he gets fouled, shooting from behind the three-point line.
He's a great free throw shooter as well. That was a bad foul there. I think if you can get back and contest it, you want to do it, but you didn't really have the angle then to get in front, make a clean play on the ball. We've got one of the best free throw shooters in the BBL now going to the line.
Lewis Champion re-enters the game. Gentry Thomas takes a seat now for the Flyers, and Coach Kapoulas, I think, getting a technical foul warning here from the referee, just on the far side of your screen. As Josephs will be the one to shoot 2 here for the Worcester Wolves. He had 15 points and 6 rebounds in his league debut this season against the Surrey Scorchers last weekend.
He's not someone that's shy, put it like that. If he's open on the three-point line, he's going to put it up. If you're going to overplay him, he's going to be aggressive, and he's quite good at drawing fouls, as you just seen then. And if he gets to the free-throw line, he's deadly. It's more likely to be 3 out of 3 here.
And he also had a fantastic Commonwealth Games campaign under Coach Kapoulas towards the front end of last year.
Yeah, he's one of those UK guys, really works on his craft, gets a little bit better every season, keeps being productive, and he's a scorer for sure.
Wolves back to within 1 now after trailing by as many as 9. And Levi Bradley backing his way down low against May Thompson, and does very well there to draw the foul.
I think the referees have been consistent so far. They called 2 on Williams, similar down that end. They called that one down there. So at least they're being consistent on both sides. No teams can really argue with that.
They will send Levi Bradley to the line, and he's certainly been a spark for Bristol Flyers this season, coming off the bench. And had that double-double, his first double-double of the season, last night against London City. Second one is good, and that brings Flyers back out to 3. Here is Bouchnet. Now Josephs. Josephs guarded by Bradley. Kicks it out to Cortez Edwards, who fakes it, turns the corner, and so shifty in the lane is Cortez Edwards. Knocks it down for 2.
Yeah, he's really good at getting to his spot. Really likes the mid-range shot. Gets enough separation to get a clean look up. He's had a really good first quarter so far.
Worcester now back to within 1. Just over a minute to go in this first quarter. Almost stolen away there by Bouchnet, but there's Bradley for 3. And Bradley knocks down the triple. Bristol back on top by 4. Here's Josephs. Pulls up for 3. Bucks it in off the window, and I don't think he meant that one, but they all count.
Yeah, he's not shy at all. If he gets a little bit of space, that ball's going up, and he doesn't care if it goes off the bank. That's 3 points for him.
It's that unorthodox shooting style there, where he stretches his legs out, and it's another turnover there for the Bristol Flyers. And here comes Cortez Edwards the other way. They've got May Thompson down low. Bouchnet fires up for 3. Back iron. And now Chris Taylor will slow this one down with the shot clock turned off.
You'd imagine Fred Thomas is going to get the ball here to get a look.
Final 10 seconds now of this first quarter. As you say, Roy, here comes Fred Thomas now. 5 seconds to go. Thomas for 3. And way off the mark there from downtown from Fred Thomas. And It will give Worcester one last opportunity here to get a shot off with 2.2 seconds to go.
Yeah, he had an extra second or two there. Could have probably put up that.
Tough shot there from Bouchnet. Too short on the half-court heave, and that will send both teams into the locker room at the busy schedule for the Flyers through December. They had a back-to-back last weekend, back-to-back this weekend. They're in action on Wednesday away at London Lions, and then Saturday sees them face that BBL Cup semi-final second leg against Worcester Wolves, and you can catch all the action right here on YouTube. Joseph drives inside, pulls up for two and splashes it from mid-range.
He's done a good job now where they've overplayed the three-point line for him. He's took a couple of steps in, drew a couple of fouls. That time he knocks down the mid-range. Got to pay a bit more attention to him now.
8 points now for Kofi Josephs, and Worcester Wolves on top by 1. Delpesh turn around down low. Ball rattles around and gets the friendly drop. A home court roll, I think they like to call it. As Nichols gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar. And the first team foul on the Bristol Flyers. Here is Bouchnet, guarded by Nichols. Now Edwards looking for Williams down low, throws it down over the top of Marcus Delpesh.
Yeah, really good offense there. High ball screen with a back screen. You've got to make a decision there whether you're going to stay with a roller or you're going to stay with a shooter. That time they forgot about the roller and got a wide open dunk.
Nichols now finding Gentry Thomas. Wolves back on top by 1 here. Thomas floats it up to the lane, can't get it to go inside. Rebound by Williams. Here's Cortez Edwards, now Bouchnet. Ball screen from Williams. Bouchnet pulls up for 3. Rebound, Gentry Thomas. Thomas off to the races, all the way to the basket, and all the momentum there with Gentry Thomas. There was no stopping him there on that fast break.
He's got a scorer's mentality. That layup could just be the one thing to get him going.
Flyers now back on top by 1. They're exchanging the lead here in the early goings of this second quarter. May Thompson, Joseph's looking for it, ends up with him. Bouchnet turns the corner. Now May Thompson for 3. And a rebound secured by Marcus Delpesh, who was falling out of bounds, and been a mistimed rebound there from Delpesh, and a careless turnover for the Flyers.
Yeah, Flyers played that defense really good. They had a screener. They switched out on it. They ended up taking a tough shot. Delpesh come down with the rebound. It's a shame that was a turn-up because that was a really good defensive possession.
Josephs to inbound, and Bouchnet is open there from 3. Now Josephs turns the corner on the 3-point shot and can't finish off the glass. Stolen away by Gentry Thomas, and an unsportsmanlike foul there called on Cortez Edwards. And it's one of those ones where you're playing in the States, that's okay out there, but of course in the BBL, that will be an unsportsmanlike foul.
Yeah, that's one of those things. He almost didn't even want that foul. He would have rather gone down and got the dunk, got the crowd going a little bit. But he's a good free throw shooter. I'm sure he's going to knock this down. Gentry
Thomas will be rewarded with a pair of free throws, and Flyers will get the possession following the unsportsmanlike foul as well. And Thomas couldn't quite finish on the second, and it will be Flyers ball from the side.
For a down screen now to get Gentry Thomas open, then probably going to come off a ball screen with Delpesh. Let's see if we get a clean look. Just to switch out.
Well, Delpesh looking for it, ends up with Nichols, turns the corner. Gentry Thomas thought, Gentry Thomas looking to go back door, and I think Nichols was going to try and feed it there and ended up just throwing it out of bounds.
Yeah, didn't really set up the ball screen enough, so the guy forced it to go over top, didn't really get an advantage of that one. Just try and get it back on defense.
Flyers on top by 2 here, 29 points to 27. It's Josephs, guarded by Chris Taylor. Now Bouchnet drives inside. Williams is at the elbow. Feeds May Thompson. Shot clock down to 6, and Edwards loves that mid-range 2. Gets it to go for 2.
Yeah, it's one of those things people don't talk about the mid-range enough, but Edwards is slim enough in this game. He's got to the elbow, he's got to the baseline. He looks really comfortable from that spot.
10 points now for Cortez Edwards, I beg your pardon, and the rebound there secured by May Thompson. Here's Edwards once again, beautiful pass into Williams, turns the corner, and foul's going to be called inside on Chris Taylor, who had position there, but just a bit too far under the basket.
Yeah, and he was caught on the switch then. He got back in transition defense. Williams did a really good job of running the floor. Edwards found him inside. Way to run the floor by Worcester.
Well, Chris Taylor and Marcus Delpeche both going to take a seat now for Bristol. And with a foul called on the floor, it will be Worcester from the baseline. Joseph's turning the corner in rhythm, can't finish the two. And now here comes Gentry Thomas the other way for the Flyers. Thomas round the back dribble all the way to the basket. Beautiful move there from Gentry Thomas. He makes it look so easy out there.
He's starting to heat up this quarter now. A couple of drives to the basket, got some clean looks off. Got to the free throw line as well.
There's good hustle there from Jordan Nichols, who now heads to the bench. And he almost stole that inbounds pass there before he left the floor. A little bit of full court pressure now here from Champion on bounce net. Approaching the midway point now of this second quarter. Flyers still on top here by 2. Edwards, Joseph's thought about the 3. He can take the 2 though. And he takes too much on that one. And here come the Bristol Flyers. Gentry Thomas, deep 3, front iron, rebound May Thompson. Off the foot of Edwards there, both players on the deck. Sloppy play here, messed up play on the court, broken down, and Joseph goes to the basket, lays it off the glass, and straight away Coach Kapoulas looks to the table and says, yeah, I'll have a timeout please. And with the scoreboard, well, Bristol Flyers led this game by as many as 9, and Worcester Wolves stormed back in that opening quarter. Their biggest lead was just a single point, and right now we are tied up at 31 points apiece midway through this second quarter. Here is Gentry Thomas, top of the three-point line, now finds Fred Thomas down low, backing his way inside on Edwards. Skips it out, and it's a hand there from Josephs. And the shot clock's down to 5 seconds here, so Gentry Thomas has to rush it. Pulls up deep 3, and the referee waves it off because didn't quite release it in time.
Yeah, and Thomas had the point up, the post up down there. 2 or 3 players come. He might be able to get the shot off anyway, but was a bit indecisive with the pass, led to a bit of a bad offense for Worcester, for Flyers. Good defense by Worcester though.
May Thompson to get us back underway. Here's Bouchnet. Top to Josephs. Now back to Bouchnet, drives inside. Katenge's there, and May Thompson open from 3, and no mistakes from downtown for him.
No hesitation there, come off the screen, wide open. Flyers got caught on the screen, waits to knock it down.
And now Worcester Wolves on top by 3. It's their biggest lead of the game, but Fred Thomas knocks down a 3 the other way. And Thomas Edwards getting set to return to the game for the Bristol Flyers. Levi Bradley's the one that will make way for him. Here's Bouchnet, brings it up over the timeline. Now Cortez Edwards, screen from Katenge, strong screen, and Fred Thomas is on the deck. Shot is short, rebound Champion, and it's last touched by Raheem May Thompson. Well, if you just joined us, end-to-end stuff in this game so far. It's been a back and forth first half, and all tied up here at 34 points apiece with just 4.5 minutes to go in this second quarter, and a big block there from Raheem May Thompson. Great defense that time from Worcester, and May Thompson just comes over from behind. Champion to inbound, top to Edozie, who hands off with Gentry Thomas, turns the corner, in and out dribble, finds Fred Thomas, who drives in traffic, too strong on that one, and last touch by Katenge, and that time he was the one who ended up falling out of bounds, and it will go back to the Bristol Flyers.
Let's see if they can execute now from the end line.
And Roy, how much time, you've been on this Bristol Flyers team, how much time would Coach Kapula spend in practice on going through these kind of sets from the baseline out of bounds?
He's massive on it. Lots of offensive sets, lots of different reads, going through it over and over again so you know every single read from it. And then same thing on the other side, always going to know all the other team's plays. As Worcester are calling out plays now, Champion keeps shouting plays back to Kapula's, knowing exactly what they're running. I think both coaches are really prepared here. Both teams know each other's sets. It's just about how you react and execute the game plan against them.
Well, there was just 1 second on the shot clock, and the shot clock violation went there, and Kapoulas was complaining there because the referee said, look, you're not going to have enough time to catch and shoot. The basket did go, but it will not count, and now the referee's just ushering Kapoulas back into his area as he looks to talk things through. And Kapoulas here is raging on the sidelines. He really thinks that basket would have counted, and now the referee just coming over and talking to him here as Williams returns to the game for Kitenge, who gave the big fella a good bit of a good rest. May Thompson looking for his options there and ends up with Edwards. 34 points apiece, 4 minutes and change to go in this first half. Josephs drives left all the way to the basket. Beautiful Euro step layup inside and gets it to go reverse off the glass.
He's had a great half so far. He knows exactly how teams are going to play him. They're going to stop him to having an open three-point shot. He's just gone past him a few times and made good finishes around the basket.
Thomas looking for his options. Champion's open for three, and Champion drains the three. Bristol Flyers back on top by 1. Edwards, full screen from Williams. Edwards driving inside, kicks it out to Bouchnet for 3. Front iron, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Flyers, though, says the referee. And Worcester will retain possession. Josephs to inbound, Bouchnet on the wing. Josephs again, this time open for 3. And can't make it that time. Rebound secured by Champion. Idozi. Thomas going back door. Strong move and looking for a foul there from the referee. No foul was called, and Fred Thomas quickly helped back up to his feet by his teammates.
That looks like a blown call by the referee right there. Got hit straight in the head. Good backdoor play there. Good pass by Idozi to find him. Probably should have been two free throws.
And again, Gentry Thomas this time takes a seat for the Flyers. And another baseline out of bounds set coming up here for the Flyers. And this time, Lewis Champion to inbound.
3 minutes left. In this half,
finds a curling Fred Thomas, who was open. And Daniel Idozi is open deep too. Ball goes back iron. Thomas Edwards almost had the offensive rebound, and it does fall to Cortez Edwards. Edwards gets it back and feeds Williams inside, and great hustle there from Chris Taylor, able to knock it loose.
Edwards saying, my bad then. Had a wide open dime right there, threw it a little bit low. He knows that, they shook hands. Flyers, always good competition between these two teams.
And plenty of travelling Worcester Wolves supporters down here tonight as well, and of course they all got their tickets in early because it does sell out in advance here at the SGS College Arena. Back underway then. Edwards drives inside, too much on that one. Rebound falls to Daniel Idozi. Idozi hands off with Champion, drives inside, left hand all the way to the basket, can't finish inside, and Champion, I think Williams ended up landing on Champion, and he's down here, Lewis Champion, and I think he took one in the gut. Quickly back to his feet though, and ready to plough on. Edwards. Two and a half minutes to go in this first half. Josephs now on the ball, guarded by Taylor. And a foul is called there on Chris Taylor. And it's playing a bit too tight there on Josephs, and that will be the Flyers' 4th team foul.
Yeah, they respected Joseph's shot so much they didn't think, or probably maybe a little bit too aggressive on him. He's not really a ball handler at the top there, so Taylor probably overplayed him a little bit there.
With 2 minutes 19 left in the quarter. Josephs getting the ball in now for the Wolves.
Ball back in. Here's Bouchnet. Turns the corner. Bouchnet all the way to the basket. The foul is called on Daniel Edozie and just couldn't quite get that one to go inside. So 2 free throws coming up here for Martin Bouchnet. Second foul there on Daniel Edozie, which will send Bouchnet to the line. And Bouchnet had that fantastic performance here at the Wise campus last time these 2 teams met. Also celebrating his birthday today. We saw on the Worcester Wolves social media. And what a present it would be if Worcester Wolves could come away from the Wise campus with a win. His champion, ball screen from Thomas Edwards, now hands off with Fred Thomas. Fred Thomas drives inside and this time able to draw the foul. 2 players collapsed on him, and Fred Thomas, strong move, back to the foul line.
He's been productive all night, whether it's the 3-point line, getting to the line, a couple of offensive rebounds, knocking down free throws. He's really the hot hand now for the Flyers.
Well, the Flyers shooting 70% so far tonight from the charity stripe, 7 for 10. Of course, they really struggled in the first quarter last night against London City Royals, and you felt like that 2-point lead they had at the end of the BBL Cup semi-final could have easily been a lot bigger if they would just knock down those free throws. No mistakes from Fred Thomas on the first. Thomas goes 2 for 2, and that puts Bristol back ahead by 1. Josephs is closely guarded by Taylor. Taylor all over Josephs here and floats it up, back iron, gets it off the glass and gets it to go. Kofi Josephs.
He's had a great first half. He's just overplaying on the 3-point line, getting to the mid-range, getting to the lane, getting into the lane, getting to the line. Great first half for Joseph.
14 points so far now for Josephs. Thomas, Fred Thomas, feeds Taylor. Thought about the 3, will shoot the 3, and drains the 3.
Taylor's one of those players where he doesn't think about it too much, just he's wide open and he put it up. He's the X factor for this team.
Certainly brought the spark, Chris Taylor. His first 3 of the night here for the Flyers. Nate Thompson fakes it. Beautiful pass into Kitenge, no mistakes inside. Champion now top to Edozie. Hands off with Fred Thomas. Flyers can go 2 for 1 here if they're quick enough, and Thomas pulls up for 2. Ball rattles around the rim twice, and a foul is called underneath the bucket. And it's going to be called on Thomas Edwards or potentially Edozie. I'm not quite sure as the referees talk it through, and it is. Oh, it is going to be called on Kitenge, I beg your pardon.
If you're Worcester now, you'll see him get a good 2 for 1 look. Finish off this half strong.
Well, the ball is going to Bristol here because although we thought that the foul was called on the Flyers, it was called against Kitenge of the Wolves, and Champion's going to be inbound here. Gentry Thomas looking inside, and the referee just putting a stop to play because the shot clock is saying 21 seconds. And just going over to the table once again to get that sorted out, because it was supposed to play 14 seconds, and then they're letting it tick down to 11 following that inbound. So take 2 then for Champion. Gentry Thomas looking for it. Delpesh also looking for it. Gentry Thomas goes baseline, so nifty in the lane, and Thomas Edwards steps out of bounds. game tied at 42 points apiece. You feel like these kind of situations late in each quarter could really have an impact on tonight's result.
Yeah, finishing off the half's really important. Which team goes to lock in with a bit of momentum? Worcester hung around all the first half, recovered from the slow start. Let's see if they can finish the half strong.
Bounce net. Final 20 seconds, shot clock at 10. Josephs at the elbow, dives inside, and the foul is called on the floor against Gentry Thomas, but it is going to be free throws for him this season, of course, if you include that pre-season game. And with both teams also in the BBL Cup semi-final, and those first legs those ties still to be decided in the second leg, could even see a Flyers v Wolves final potentially. So that could be 5 meetings, and then of course one more meeting to come in the regular season as well. So you could be looking at kind of 6 meetings between these two teams, so plenty of time to sound each other out. Final 10 seconds then of this first half. Wolves on top by 1. Thomas drives inside. Thomas Edwards for 3. And Thomas Edwards drains the triple. He beats the buzzer. And that gives Bristol Flyers a 2-point lead as the teams to go. It's Flyers on top by 2. I'm joined by former Bristol Flyers and Worcester Wolves point guard Roy Owen. And Roy, what a fantastic second half we have on our hands here.
Yeah, no team's really got momentum so far, so both teams going to come out firing. Look to make some adjustments early so you can get momentum and get a bit of a lead. So Flyers can try and get their first league win of the year.
Champion drives inside and gets it to go off the glass. And that's certainly what Coach Kapoulis' men would have wanted coming out of the half.
That's exactly what they need. Champion's got the potential to do that all the time, being more aggressive, put more points on the board. They're going to need more than Thomas this game to get them out with a win.
May Thompson pulls up mid-range 2, splashes that one, and exchanging baskets to start this third quarter.
He hit 2 threes early. That time pump faked, got him off balance, got to his mid-range, knocked it down.
Gentry Thomas is looking to respond, and offensive rebound for Thomas Edwards, and is blocked by Williams. Williams certainly has the height advantage there on Thomas Edwards, and made it look so easy there on the rejection that time.
Yeah, great job to crash the balls, but Williams just with the height advantage, like you said.
Thomas Edwards for 3. Back-to-back threes for Rafael Thomas Edwards. He had 1 to end the first half, and then he opens the second half with another.
Yeah, there's a lot of attention on both the Thomas guards. So when they drive, a lot of people coming over to help. Guys got to be ready to shoot, knock it down, punish them for the over-helping.
Here is Kofi Josephs, guarded by Gentry Thomas. Cortez Edwards now. Shot clock at 3 seconds. Has to shoot there, and both Thomas Edwards and Gentry Thomas going for the rebound. It ends up with Gentry Thomas. It's Ozzy, top of the 3-point line. Fred Thomas thought about going back door. Now Thomas for 3. Too short on that one. Rebound for Josephs. And Gentry Thomas there called for the reaching in foul. And great job there from Josephs to really sell that call.
Yeah, he's been doing it all game. If you play a little bit over aggressive on him, he's going to lean in you a little bit. If you put your hand on him, he's going to overreact a little bit. That time the referee's called it.
Amir Williams. Now Kofi Josephs drives past Thomas. May Thompson almost couldn't catch that one, and it's knocked loose and last touched by the Wolves. And great defensive effort there from the Bristol Flyers. Flyers on top by 5 here.
Bit of a zipper play here. Look for Gentry Thomas to come up and get open.
Ball down low to Adozi. Now Thomas Edwards. They're looking for Gentry Thomas. Fred Thomas finds Gentry Thomas at the wing, and an offensive foul that time on the screen from Daniel Adozi.
There's a lot of attention with Fred Thomas and Gentry Thomas where they're overplaying, trying to deny him on plays. Other guys got to really step up, like that first play from Champion where he just aggressed and went to the basket. Guys aren't really going to help off the other guys. They're really focusing on the two key guys there, so the other guys can be open to make plays.
Cortez Edwards brings it up over the half court. Out Josephs. Edwards once again, in and out dribble to the basket, and it's knocked loose by Gentry Thomas, and it's going to stay here with the Wolves.
Really impressed with Edwards' game. He's not too quick, but he's just really smart, getting guys off balance, getting to his spots, finding people, and getting wide open shots off separation moves. Been a good game for him so far.
Edwards here to inbound, looking for Williams down low. Soars for the baby hook, gets the friendly roll inside, and the Worcester Wolves are back to within 3. Is Champion, hands off with Fred Thomas. Champion drives left and kicks it out to Fred Thomas here on the wing. Overcooked that one. Another rebound for Amir Williams, his 5th. Here is Williams down low, kicks it out to May Thompson from downtown, and no mistakes with the triple. We're all tied up, folks, at 50 points apiece.
Yeah, Worcester role players tonight have had a great game. Just guys overplaying slightly. They've been wide open on the three-point line. They've been there ready to knock that shot down all game.
Dozy fakes the baseline 2, blocked by Williams, and great job there from Edwards to keep it in bounds. Edwards now driving middle. Hughes on the wing, pulls up from downtown, and the rebound gathered in by Thomas Edwards. Six minutes to go in this third quarter, and no separation here between these two teams. Thomas Edwards turns the corner and gets fouled, and it's going to be a call on Raheem May Thompson. Levi Bradley re-enters the game for the Flyers to give Gentry Thomas a little bit of breathing room. And Lewis Champion here going to get his teammates into position for the baseline out of bounds.
Look for Thomas coming off that screen.
Fred Thomas now out top to Champion. Ball screen from Adozi. Champion driving up against Hughes. And it's a sloppy turnover there from Champion. And here comes Worcester the other way. They've got numbers, and Edwards chases down the, May Thompson chases down the ball, goes straight into the courtside advertising board. And a couple of fans there got a little bit more than they bargained for down there in the Mike Vigor fan zone.
Yeah, they were coming down. They probably had a wide open layup there, but I think because Thompson's hit a few threes, he looked to try and get a bit of a transition 3. They're quite frustrated with the South End. They should have executed 2 points.
Here's Levi Bradley.
With a mismatch down low.
Backing down Edwards, strong move, and foul is going to be called on the floor, says the referee.
Edwards got caught in the mismatch there. Bradley, good job just to be aggressive and going there.
Such a long player as Levi Bradley. He's really caused some, plenty of mismatches this season already. Lots of teams really struggling to guard him out there. Bradley calling for it down low again, and this time another foul is called on Cortez Edwards inside, and Bradley, as we say, really causing problems here for the Worcester Wolves.
I'm not really sure why Edwards has matched up with him here now. They probably need to switch that mismatch. Might be doing that now with a substitution. Well,
you're right there as Edwards takes a seat. Joseph's back into the game, and it looks like May Thompson's going to pick up the responsibility of Levi Bradley.
And that's a big foul there. Edwards really been running the show in the point guard spot to get caught in 2 big switches. That's a shame for Worcester.
Bradley puts it up, can't finish. And the rebound secured by Williams. Josephs pulls up for 3 in transition. Rhythm 3 for Kofi Josephs. And Worcester Wolves back on top by 3.
He's not shy. He's open. He's going to put it up.
Flyers looking for a response here. Bradley thought about the 3. Daniel Adozi deep 2. Front iron rims out. Long rebound falls back to Adozi.
little bit outside of Dozie's range there, but this is Champion's range.
Champion overcooks that one, and the rebound this time falls to Josephs. It's an 8-0 run right now for the Worcester Wolves. Flyers haven't scored since 9 minutes to go in this third quarter. And that's going to be an over and back there from the Worcester Wolves. Good defensive intensity there from the Flyers. And Roy, when you're Coach Kapoulis and your side's struggling to get any points going, what is it that you're saying to your team out there? I mean, they're still very much within touching distance, but they need to get some points going quickly.
I think you want to get a bit of momentum from your defense. You want to get 2 or 3 stops, go out, get some fast break, get some layups. So far this game's just really been a half-court game from both teams. But I think there is advantages there in transition. If we can get a few stops, get a few steals, get some offensive rebounds and push it down the floor. It's been a slow game so far.
The Flyers certainly are a transition team. We saw that last night against the Worcester Wolves in the BBL Cup. They went off to the races, particularly in that fourth quarter. They trailed by double digits and took that 2-point lead into the second leg. Joseph's layup is no good, and Flyers have numbers here with Josephs looking to get back in transition. Thomas Edwards feeds Delpesh inside back into the game, and his hook shot off the glass is no good.
A little bit better tempo there from the Flyers. I thought they could have got a better shot there. They had a 5-on-4, end up with a contested hook shot.
Hughes hands off with Bouch net. He's guarded by Thomas. Double team comes from Delpesh. Now he gets back into position. Kofi Josephs gets it stolen away by Thomas Edwards, and Fred Thomas is cleared for takeoff.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about now. Let's get some steals, get outside in transition. You don't need to just trade baskets the whole game. You can be aggressive and go.
That certainly is what Flyers do best, is get out and run, and first time we've really seen that tonight is in the third quarter. Josephs drives inside, another foul is called there, and Josephs doing such a fantastic job of drawing in those fouls here tonight.
Yeah, Flyers really picked up their defensive energy then on that possession, but bailed Joseph out at the last second. You got to kind of know what he wants to do now. He's been doing it for the whole half and the start of this third quarter. He wants to be aggressive, make fouls. You got to try and force him somewhere else.
Well, it's just the third team foul. Josephs was going to the line to try and shoot 2 free throws, but still a couple of fouls to give here for Bristol, and Josephs is going to inbound from the baseline. Bouch net, baseline 2, back iron. Offensive rebound for Kitenge finds May Thompson. Hook shot, sky hook, no good, and Delpesh gathers in the rebound, and a foul is going to be called there on Kitenge. Well, if you just joined us tonight, first of all, where have you been? And second of all, what a fantastic game we have on our hands. 1-point ball game with 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Such an evenly matched contest between these two teams. And if either team can go on a run now going into the fourth, you feel that will give them a whole lot of momentum here, as Delpesh able to draw the foul on Kitenge, and a couple of quick fouls on him. And Flyers now are in the bonus.
Yeah, like you said, both teams looking for momentum. Maybe if Flyers now get them in foul trouble a little bit, they've got the bonus for the last 2 minutes and 44 seconds. Can they get to the free-throw line, gain a bit of a lead here?
Well, Kitenge, after picking up those 2 quick fouls, takes a seat, and Amir Williams is back into the game for the Worcester Wolves. The first free throw is good from Marcus Delpesh, who has struggled from the free throw line this season. No mistakes on the second either, and substitution coming in here for the Wolves. Cortez Edwards back in, and substitution coming in here for the Wolves. Cortez Edwards back in, and Bouchnet is the one to take a seat on the bench. Josephs, guarded by Thomas Edwards. Now Edwards. Cortez Edwards. Closely guarded by Champion. Amir Williams is up against Marcus Delpesh here. Going to work down low. Fakes it in the paint. Shot clock down to 3 seconds here. They have to get it up. And Edwards airball on the triple. Good defensive intensity there from the Flyers. I don't think Worcester really realised how long was left on that shot clock.
Yeah, and we talked about Williams in the pre-game saying he's going to be one of the key threats, but so far Flyers bigs have done a really good job. Flyers don't have to send a double or the second guy at him, just playing one-on-one. That time he tried to make a move, couldn't make it, kicked it out, ended up with a bit of a tough shot at the end of the shot clock.
Well, the ball goes off the foot of Mark Hughes, and Flyers are going to keep it here from the side this time. It's going to be Fred Thomas to inbound from the side. Lobs it up to Delpesh with the alley-oop slam. Lewis Champion on the money with the pass. And Delpesh does what Delpesh does best with a two-handed slam.
Great pass by Champion there. Turned the corner on the pick and roll. If they rotated all the way over, threw up for the big alley-oop play.
Cortez Edwards, good ball movement here from Worcester, but they end up throwing it out of bounds, and Flyers now a chance here to extend this lead.
The last 2-3 minutes, Flyers' defensive energy has been great. They've been dying the passing lanes, making them go backdoor, blowing up some of the plays they want to run. To make up this defensive energy now, they're going to push the lead out.
Well, Flyers have held the Wolves scoreless here for the last 3 minutes of this period. It's Levi Bradley. Hands off with Champion. Now Bradley once again. Pulls up for three. Too short on that one. Rebound for May Thompson, and he's off to the races, and it comes off the foot of May Thompson, so it goes back to the Bristol Flyers.
Surprised Worcester hasn't had a timeout here. They've had a couple of bad offensive possessions. Flyers have really got a bit of momentum here. Let's see if they can push out and go some momentum in the fourth.
Final minute and a half to go of this third quarter. Bradley. Now Fred Thomas kicks it inside to Delpesh, backing his way down low. Hook shot, too much on that one. Another rebound falls to Williams, and almost a foul there on the Flyers on the defensive rebound. Here's Edwards into Williams. Big mismatch there from him, and he puts it up. Can't finish inside, but there to gather his own miss, and it's blocked by Bradley. Spins in the lane, and the foul is called, and the travelling violation on Amir Williams, and the Flyers bench on their feet. Fans liking what they're seeing defensively from their team in this third quarter. They've held Worcester scoreless here for nearly 5 minutes.
And they're doing a great job down low. One-on-one coverage. Williams is trying to be aggressive. Delpesh and Dozy, they've done a great job playing against Williams. He's a huge threat inside, but so far hasn't been effective this game.
Let's go, Flyers, let's go.
Champion's going to bring it up over the timeline. Fred Thomas turns the corner. Champion, top of the three-point line, drives inside, dishes it off, but it's off the foot there, says the referee, and the shot clock is going to get reset to 14 seconds.
Shot clock's on 14, but 32 on the clock. They probably want to get a 2 for 1 here to see if they can get a quick look. I'd imagine Thomas is going to fake the screen for Champion and fly out to the corner and see if he can get a look up.
Thomas Edwards to inbound. Now Delpesh, top to Champion. Thomas Edwards was open briefly down low, and last touch by Edwards. It will stay here with the Flyers, and the shot clock is down to 10.
Thomas with the inbound.
Thomas here to inbound. Delpesh now. Kicks it out to Rafael Thomas Edwards. Deep three. Back iron. And now 20 seconds to go. The shot clock is turned off. And Worcester have a chance to tie the game here with a 3. Final 10 seconds. The foul is called on Fred Thomas, and they did have a couple of fouls to give there, so a smart foul from him.
It is a Wolves ball on the sideline. Personal foul called on Thomas.
Chris Taylor's going to come back in for the Flyers here, and Fred Thomas will take a seat. Chance to give him an extended rest through that third quarter break, and of course he just picked up his 3rd personal foul as well.
Yeah, just want to protect that foul, go into the fourth quarter, again with a bit of rest. He's been the main man so far, so you don't want to have him fouled to the fourth.
Joseph's on the deck. Cortez Edwards. Final 5 seconds here. Hughes has to shoot here. And the ball goes out of bounds. And 1 second left on the game clock. And it's going to be Worcester to inbound here. Let's see what Newby has drawn up for the Wolves. One second to go here. Throws it up into Williams, who tips it in on the buzzer. And that is a perfectly executed play to end this third quarter in Bristol. And Josephs is going to get us back underway for the start of this fourth quarter. Here is Edwards now. Cortez Edwards. Closely guarded by Gentry Thomas. Hughes is looking for it on the wing, ends up with him. Amir Williams is a mismatch on Del Pesh there down low. Josephs pulls up from mid-range too, and that's what's been working so well for him so far in this game. This time, couldn't quite get it to go. Bradley drives inside, floats it up, can't finish, chases down the own miss and can't finish for a second chance there. A little chippy around the ring. Gentry Thomas, open lane and reverse layup is good, gets it to go off the glass.
They expected to use the ball screen there, rejected it, help side wasn't ready, good finish by Gentry Thomas.
Here's Hughes. Down to Amir Williams, up against Del Pesh. Strong move, able to chase down the miss, and great defense that time from Gentry Thomas. Here he comes in transition, getting shifty in the lane. Thomas Edwards just loses possession there, and it goes back to the Worcester Wolves.
So much attention gets drawn to Gentry Thomas. Guys got to cut off the ball. That was a good cut there, but probably got to finish the play there. Should have ended with 2 points.
Well, just the 8 points for Gentry Thomas tonight, but he certainly demanded the attention of the Wolves players. Here is Cortez Edwards, drives inside, and a foul is called there on Gentry Thomas with the beautiful spin move from Cortez Edwards. Well, that is Gentry Thomas's 4th personal, and immediately he's going to go back to the bench. Lewis Champion's going to return to the game, and that could be a big factor here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's a huge call there. It looked like he played pretty good defense, forcing down the sideline. To give one of your main scorers that call, that's a tough call.
Oh, it's stolen by Champion, and a bit of miscommunication that time between those two Wolves players. And Flyers now a chance to extend this lead. Champion skips it out to Bradley, drives inside. Taylor around the back dribble, and Champion for 3. Downtown for Lewis Champion. And Bristol Flyers now on top by 6.
And with Gentry Thomas out, we need other guys to be aggressive. Great catch and shoot there by Champion.
Wolves looking to respond the other way. Can't finish the 3, and a rebound by Rafael Thomas Edwards. Here comes Lewis Champion. Pulls up baseline 2, and Champion, quick 5 points for him. He's feeling it in this fourth quarter right now.
Back-to-back shots, way to step up.
And Bristol Flyers now, they're out to an 8-point lead here. Fans getting into this one. Joseph, guarded by Thomas Edwards. Ball screen comes from Katenge. Good hedge on the screen there from Del Pesh, and Josephs pulls up from 3, gets it to go off the glass, and Kofi Josephs, everything's dropping for him here tonight.
And that's his 2nd bank shot of the night, and I don't really care to this point of the game, but if he's wide open at the top of the lane, he's got to let him fly.
Del Pesh down low on Katenge, battling down low there. Sky hook gets a friendly roll, and Del Pesh, who's had quite a quiet night so far tonight, gets his 8th point of the game.
That's actually his move. He'll back down 1 or 2 times, look like he's not going to do something. He's got a soft touch around the basket.
Joseph step back baseline 2, and great defense that time from the Flyers. It's a 3-on-2 if they're quick enough. There's Thomas Edwards on the wing, and now they're looking to slow things down here with Bradley top of the 3-point line. Champion directing traffic, and he goes all the way to the basket, can't finish, but there's Bradley on the follow. And Matt Newby straight away wants to call a timeout because Bristol Flyers, they've matched their biggest lead. And still plenty of twists and turns to come here with 6.5 minutes to go at the SGS College Arena. Here's Cortez Edwards now. Bounce net. Floats it into Williams, who blocked by Delpeche. And a travelling violation's called, and Marcus Delpeche is all fired up here for the Bristol Flyers. What a defensive stop there from the big fella.
Yeah, it looked like he was clean, rolled to the basket real good. Delpeche, though, he's an athletic people, and he catches a lot of people by surprise. Flyers' game plan against him so far has been great.
Chris Taylor, now Marcus Delpeche. Hands off with Champion, who turns the corner. Now down low to Delpeche, battling against Williams. What a spin move from Delpeche! And friendly roll for Marcus Delpeche. He's doing it all out there right now, Roy.
Yeah, he's got soft touch around the basket. Once he makes a move, he gets off clean. Once it starts hitting the rim 2 or 3 times, it's probably going to drop in. Great energy by him, though.
Nate Thompson looking to respond with a 3, and a much-needed 3 from the Worcester Wolves. And Bristol Flyers were threatening to run away with it there in the 4th quarter. And now Raheem May Thompson knocks down the 3 to bring him back to within touching distance. Bradley looking to respond with a 3, and he does so.
Flyers got all the momentum right now. Different guys contributing. Really good energy. It started on the defensive end, but finishing on the offensive end.
Well, you talk about a defensive end. They've held Worcester Wolves to 61 points with 5.5 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. Edwards in traffic now to Josephs. Tries middle, and blocking foul there called on Chris Taylor. And you can see the players shocked there with that one, but maybe just a little bit too far under the basket there, Roy.
Yeah, he looked like he's outside the charge circle, but maybe he got there a second or 2 late. Great job trying to take the charge, but also a great job by Joseph to be aggressive. They've been running him off the 3-point line all night. One of the best shooters in the BBL going to the line for 2.
Cortez Edwards takes a seat. Mark Hughes back into the game for the Worcester Wolves. And the fans here now getting really loud at the SGS College Arena as Josephs comes up short on the first.
Commentator curse on the free throws.
And it's one of those atmospheres here at SGS, Roy. In the 4th quarter, it can get really noisy indeed, and potentially one of the lots of players here don't like playing at the Wise campus.
Yeah, I know I'm biased a little bit, but it's my favourite place to play.
Bradley,
Flyers get the momentum there, they're hard to stop.
Bradley's 3 no good, and Taylor gets called for the reach-in foul. And that basket will not count. This is Flyers' biggest lead of the game here at 11. Chris Taylor takes a seat, and Fred Thomas, a well-rested Fred Thomas, returns to the game.
Yeah, what's crazy is Flyers have made their run with a lot of their main guys on the bench. Fred Thomas checking back in, Gentry Thomas still to come back in. They're starting on the defensive end. Let's see if they can finish it out.
Offensive foul called on Williams, and Marcus Delpeche is doing a great job defensively on him.
Yeah, he's doing it everywhere. He's got a couple of buckets down the other end, made it a block earlier, now taking a charge on him. He's in Williams' head a little bit.
It's an 11-point lead here for the hometown Flyers. Under 5 minutes to go in the 4th. Bradley feeds Fred Thomas. Now, Thomas Edwards down low, and it's blocked by Williams. Good defensive effort there from him. And an offensive foul called on Williams, and back-to-back offensive fouls for him. Just got caught there in the face with that elbow. And Williams not happy with that one.
Yeah, we spoke about it earlier in the game. He led with his elbow twice. The referees called blocking fouls on it. That time he got the rebound. This time the referees changed their mind a little bit, so that's what it is.
Well, that's Amir Williams' 4th personal foul, so he's on 4 fouls. Gentry Thomas on 4 fouls, and the Flyers on top by 11. And Marcus Delpeche there, a bit of miscommunication with Rafael Thomas Edwards as he ends up just throwing it out of bounds.
Flyers in a bit of a tough situation there, and 2 forwards trying to sort of throw cross-court passes. Not really what they want on offense, not good spacing.
4 minutes and change to go. Josephs, top of the three-point line. Williams rolling to the basket, and a foul is called inside, and I think it's going to be called on Thomas Edwards. And it is, it's called on Thomas Edwards, just holding Amir Williams there as he was rolling to the basket.
Worcester now going to try and go on that last little run, see if they can get this game back, get a bit of momentum. Flyers got to do with their defense now if they want to win.
Well, Flyers are in the penalty now for these last 4 minutes, and Joseph's all the time in the world to shoot that one, and maybe a bit too open that time as he goes off the back iron. And second chance opportunity here for Worcester. Bouchnet looking for Williams, and great defense from the Flyers. Good read from Delpesh. Champion now feeds Fred Thomas on the wing. Thought about the three. Champion looking to slow things down. Bradley, he will shoot the three, and he drains the three. And now Matt Newby will call a timeout because Bristol Flyers are home cooking right now at the SGS. For Worcester to mount a comeback here. We've seen it before at the SGS College Arena. Edwards now top to Bouchnet. Cortez Edwards once again. Mismatch on Delpesh. Skips it top to Hughes. Joseph's deep three. And too much on that one, and Fred Thomas soars for the rebound there. And now the Bristol Flyers will slow this game down. Lewis Champion now, looking for Fred Thomas, cutting back door, and hang time there from Fred Thomas as the ball is battered loose to Bouchnet, open in transition. Thomas Edwards can't get it, and Joseph pulls up for three, and again, can't make it. Second chance opportunity. Again, he can't make the triple. And Kofi Josephs, who's done so well in the first 3 quarters, has gone ice cold here in the fourth.
Yeah, he's had an interesting game so far, because really, those shots really are normally his bread and butter. But he's made all the 2 points all game, but struggles slightly from the 3-point line, but I'm sure his confidence won't dip.
Fred Thomas, step back for three. And that one is short. Rebound again for Worcester. They're out off to the races. Bouchnet. Williams looking for that position down low. And it's stolen by Thomas. And a good read there from Fred Thomas as they were looking to go to Williams down low. And now with 2 minutes to go in this fourth quarter, Bristol Flyers will take every second out of this 24-second shot clock.
That's that same mismatch earlier. Edwards trying to guard Bradley down low. Hasn't worked well for Worcester so far.
The rebound by Williams, and now Wolves, they need points and they need them quick here, and Bouchnet able to draw the foul, and that will send him to the foul line, and it's a good job from him to draw that contact in transition. And when your team goes ice cold from the field, it's a good chance for him to get something going here from the line.
Yeah, if you're Worcester now, you want to push the ball, get early looks, and if you're Flyers, you want to come down, run long offenses. You can live with it, miss or make, really.
Well, Bouchnet makes no mistakes on the first free throw. He had 7 points last night against the Leicester Riders, and just his 3rd point of the evening here tonight. Been quite a quiet night so far for him. And Kapoulis this time will call a timeout from the table, and it will be Thomas Edwards to get us back underway from the baseline. Just under 2 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. It's stolen by Bouchnet, but last touch by the Wolves, and they will retain possession here. And Coach Kapoulis now looking to bring in Gentry Thomas back into the game, and he'll be playing on 4 team fouls.
Yeah, it's an interesting fourth quarter, keeping your main scorer on the bench while you made the run, but he's someone coming in now, look to try and ice the game.
Thomas gets it into Gentry Thomas. Active hands there from Cortez Edwards as Thomas brings it up over the line. Now Delpesh now, shot clock at 8 seconds. Gentry Thomas drives to the lane, and great execution there from the Flyers. Bouchnet looking to respond the other way, and he gets fouled in transition, which will send him to the line. And if you're Bristol Flyers, Roy, is that a smart foul in terms of stopping the transition and that momentum, or?
Yeah, you could always live with him just giving up the layup there and getting it in and running a long offense to the other side. He's done that 2 or 3 times now, just been aggressive. Any sort of contact, he's threw his hands up in the air, got straight to line. He's a great free throw shooter. As I curse the free throw again.
Well, it did in fact work out as a smart foul in the end, as Bouchnet goes 1 for 2. Gentry Thomas looking for Fred Thomas in transition and just can't quite get there.
Flyers in no rush here, run a long offense, maybe go to middle, pick and roll if you need it, just find an open look.
Champion has the open lane inside, and a beautiful move from Lewis Champion, gets the layup off the glass. And this game looks all but done here as Fred Thomas intercepts the pass and Bouchnet commits the foul, and they had fouls to give Worcester. But momentum well and truly in Bristol Flyers' favour. And Roy, you feel like this game is all but done.
Yeah, I think this one's done here. Really great job by people like Champion to come in and step up. Dalpesh reloads a great energy. Radley to be versatile inside and outside. Once the other guys started stepping up here, Flyers have had the momentum since.
Gentry Thomas is going to inbound from the half court, or in the back court even. And Champion in no rush here for the Bristol Flyers. Gentry Thomas into the final minute now of this fourth quarter. Ball screen comes from Thomas Edwards, and Thomas now feeds Champion back at the top of the three-point line. Shot clock winding down, and Champion comes up short, ends up in the front row, and Wolves have numbers here if they're quick enough. It's into Hughes who puts it up, can't finish, and gets it to go on the second chance opportunity. And 40 seconds to go now in this fourth quarter. Gentry Thomas is going to take every second here of this possession as double team comes, and Thomas puts it up, and Thomas puts it in. What a move there from Gentry Thomas. Bouchnet has to fire out for 3, and Wolves need points here, and air ball on the triple. And the shot clock here is turned off. Bristol Flyers are going to let this one wind down. Final 10 seconds here at the Wise campus. The fans are on their feet. And that is going to do it. The Bristol Flyers picking up their first league win of the season. They've defeated the Worcester Wolves 81 points to 66. It was a tight battle all the way through the first 3 quarters, but Bristol Flyers came out